my bird.
Yeah, man. Well, you know he's the original fireman. Champion in the cause of righteousness. Whoa. Nothing worse than corruption. Say that is the curse that's plaguing the island. From the top of the ladder, straight down to the bottom. Everyone caught up in self-indulgence. They really don't care about righteousness. Everybody involving in selfishness. Cause the whole agenda is to get more wealth. They really don't care, man, who's suffering. Once them and their family achieving, the slogan will be, how Grenada nice. So I want you to tell me, when will corruption end? Will there be a time when straight people wouldn't bend? No. And when you see corruption trying to raise the head, will you stamp your foot on it, my brother? Try to kill it dead. You apply for a work, you well qualify, but because of politics you get denied. Won't you tell me, isn't that corruption? A man found dead, police say drowning, but the autopsy reveal a strangling. Won't you tell me, isn't that corruption? Corruption, let's get rid of it. Corruption, the country will benefit. Won't you help me get rid of corruption? Corruption, let's not sell we soul. Corruption, let the truth be told. Won't you help me get rid of corruption? Yeah. Well, I know some people who living on top. When the poor have a problem, they really don't give a fuck. Man, if you ask them for help, this is the aftermath. They're not afraid to tell you, boy, move your bumper clat. They don't care if you live or die. Whether you eat or wrong, your mouth dry. They're not obligated to give you a blight. They really don't care who unfortunate. On a Sunday is macaroni pie and steak. Some of us cannot buy a Carnival or a 50 cents cake. So I want you to tell me, when will sufferation end? Will there be a time when poor people will have money to spend? I know the boss have a plan to keep the workers poor, to maximize on the profit, to make sure that the bank account grow. You did not work to serve the country, but you have a 14,000 salary. Won't you tell me, isn't that corruption? If the police them getting promotion because of party affiliation, won't you tell me, isn't that corruption? So, corruption, let's get rid of it. Corruption, the country will benefit. Won't you help me get rid of corruption? Corruption, let's not sell we soul. Corruption, let the truth be told. Won't you help me get rid of corruption? Yeah. Now you see corruption, it is clearly defined by the way how some people maliciously intertwine to manipulate. That is their strategy, to deceive the people with some form of bribery. They have no love for people at all. To lie and steal, that is the ritual. Because making money, that is the only goal. They don't care who pocket empty, and don't give a damn about poverty, as long as they're able to remain wealthy. So I want you to tell me, do you think this is fair? Who will take up the fight to make sure poverty disappear? So when you see somebody like me trying to take a stand, you should join with me, my people, to get rid of corruption. They cut you like man for small money, but exorbitant some for reconnection fee. Won't you tell me, isn't that corruption? My name was down for low income home, but you change up the thing, now I must get loan. Won't you tell me, isn't that corruption? Corruption, let's get rid of it. Corruption, the country will benefit. Won't you help me get rid of corruption? Corruption, let's not sell we soul. Corruption, let the
Good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. You see me looking left and right, just making sure everything is all well and okay.
Won't you help me get rid of?
Off to a late start tonight, so let's get with it. Phone lines are open 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. I wonder if I could say it like small axe. Hey. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of Talking Points tonight. Saying a special good night to all our listeners out there in Buffalo. See where I start tonight. Not Bison, no, out in Buffalo. Nice, yeah. Good night to you, Texas. North Carolina. We'll just say the Carolinas, eh? Maryland, good night to you. New York City. A special good night to each and every one of you out there. California, Washington State, Washington D.C. proper. Florida, good night to you. The Canadian listeners, those of you out in Alberta, Saskatchewan, yeah, Ontario, right. No, I've never been to Canada. That's something I may have to correct, yeah? And to my regional listeners, my good day, my Bajan friend, good night to you. My Katisha friends, those of you listening in St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua, Anguilla, the ABC Islands, yeah, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, Venezuela, Suriname, yeah, Dutch Suriname, yeah, Guyana, everything is Gala. And of course, my Jamaican listeners, my St. Lucian listeners, you know, I love my Lucy people, yeah. They're always there with us on Talking Points, huh? Yeah, I swear some of them is Grenadian. But I say I must confess, nobody's afraid to rain. Trinidad and in specific Tobago. We got strength. Want to thank all our listeners joining us via We Noise Radio. Yeah, our loyal listeners via We Noise. And I want to say thank you especially to all of you that have been making your little donations, whether it's $10, $20, etc. Those of you who have been making donations. Some of you pass by Cami. And those of you that do go on to the site and put a look at 5, put a look at 10 every night, we want to say thank you, huh? Independent man, big fan, flying everywhere. They have no discipline. They stop roadside vending for gala and no gala. So this week we should be sending some stuff up to Carriacou. And that's Talking Points, eh? That's from Talking Points, the Talking Points family. We're sending some stuff up this weekend. That's nothing. Everything is gala. I want to thank the lady who donates the generator. I did not get back to you today. I did speak to you last night, but I didn't get back to you today. I am still trying to get my friend who does small engine repair, and then we go check, and right, nice. So Ziggy, you're safe. Nice. Mommy George, good night to you. Kiami, good night to you as well. I wonder if they go in and keep gala again. I wonder if they're still going in gala, eh? Yeah?
Get ready for the onslaught.
Antonito, good night to you, bro. Beverly, Brenda, I see Sheldon, Denise, Dominique, Oswald, yeah, Marilyn, Shrajan, Sherma, Teresa, Marilyn, Kathleen. All of you on the YouTube and everyone on the Facebook, we say a special good night to you.
I know what is going on. They could leave me out from semi-final. That will never stop me at all. I'm in town real long. I know what is going on.
Just making sure the numbers get to where they should be.
To keep the shanty man, so they leave out them bad man. They know that will take the ground. Up the Paris set, so they make a big man wet. They say that we ain't good. We can't need that yellow food.
Yeah, in tongue long too, you know. Young song, not you in tongue alone long, nah.
It was disrespectful.
To Alice and Dalma out there in Aruba. Mr. Study. Behave yourself, eh? Nice, right? Yes, so folks, 440-737-734-7329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program, and we're going to start the discussion. Now, folks, let me say this, huh? With each passing week, it is becoming more and more and more difficult for any of us to trust anything that we hear out of the government of Grenada. Yeah? It is becoming more and more difficult, especially at times like these, when you have all of these challenges that the nation is being faced with. And I say that in the context of, yes, you have the hurricane that has basically destroyed the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. It has not destroyed the people. They are homeless, not hopeless. But they have destroyed the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And you have the economic fallout that is going to come from that. We're getting the walk-around stories by the government in relation to issues, simple issues as, are you going to implement the hurricane clause? We heard the Prime Minister, and I don't have to play it tonight, you heard it. You heard the Prime Minister saying that, yes, they had already written. Then you hear them walking back that statement when they were speaking to the international press, and now they come to the Grenadian people. And you can't tell if they do it or they ain't do it or they're going to do it or what. You can't tell. Because they keep speaking around these issues and refusing to give a straight answer. Watch, one of these days I must really go in one of these press conferences, you know. Yeah, I must go in one of the press conferences and well, you're fine. Yeah? Talking points, we should go in one of the press conferences and ask questions. We are a media institution, you know. We are a media house too. We could go and ask questions. Because I can't understand how these people believe that they can just lie to us like that, and we are supposed to just take what they say and believe what they say and believe that it is truth. Last week, you're telling us that the houses in Carriacou are unlivable, that they were severely damaged, that they were unlivable. Then, a week later, the story has changed to not unlivable anymore, but there was minimal damage to the houses, from serious damage to minimal damage to the houses. Yeah? So the stories are changing on a weekly basis, so you don't know which one. I mean, and there's so many instances of this. Remember, the Prime Minister of this country, together with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, sat in front of us, the Grenadian people, and said to us live on television, radio, and the internet, and with people sitting in front of them, that they would not sign the Samoa agreement unless they go through it. And at the time that they're saying that the agreement was being signed. So these are people who are strangers to the truth. We cannot hold them to their word. You always have to go through the process of testing whatever it is that they say. Because they're saying one thing, and next week they're telling you we didn't say that. Is this. In fact, I'm pretty sure that if I build a book of lies, authored by the National Democratic Congress, that I'd have to make it like an encyclopedia. I might have to have various volumes, volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just a book of lies of the National Democratic Congress. One thing, they can say what they want about talking points. They can say what they want about the host of talking points. We care not. One thing we are sure that they cannot honestly say, because we know that there's lie, but they cannot honestly say, is that we are lying on this program or we don't know what we're speaking about. They can't say that. They can attack the host as much as they want. Yeah? They can attack as much as they want. But when we say something here, we are very clear in what it is that we're saying. People understand what we're talking about, and we're able to back up. Anything that we're saying, we're able to back it up. When we ask them, for instance, that we have finished the month of June, on several instances in the past few months, when it comes to the fate of the Marketing and National Importing Board, and you'll understand where I'm going with this. When it comes to the state of the Marketing and National Importing Board, which was closed by this administration, a promise was made to the Grenadian people that a new entity would be formed in a public-private partnership. The update that we received a few months ago said that how they were looking at a potential partner and negotiations were taking place that were aiming towards a start in June. We heard other statements in relation to that, that in June, we're in July now, and we've passed the middle of July. So it seems as though we'll reach the end of July without anything on that. The Marketing and National Importing Board, by whatever new name it is supposed to come out by, still doesn't exist. Whichever new entity was supposed to be formed, you had the various people going home. A lie was told to them that they're going to provide funding and they're going to provide training for those who want to start businesses and so on. They're going to provide the seed money to them to start the businesses, and they're going to provide training to them. And so in setting up a small business, those who are interested in doing that, And what happened? Speak to the people who are working in marketing and national importing board, those that were not called back to work with the one or two that are still open. Well, one, I think, two that are still open. Find out from them if any trading and so on took place. Find out from them what has happened to their pension plan. Find out from them what has taken place with their pension plan. Because they are supposed to have in place now a pension plan that is supposed to provide for them, is supposed to provide for them right now. Yeah? And the government promised that, hey, these individuals, they'll get the money from the pension plan and so on, they will give them. Because, of course, the pension plan would end because the entity no longer exists that was paying into that pension plan. So discussions took place that these workers would get their monies out of the pension plan. Last I heard, they're still waiting. They were given different dates, nothing. So this government specializes in lying. They specialize in it. We proved to you yesterday, imagine, a whole press release come out about a part of a discussion that they claim never took part. Never took place. A whole section on Grenadians, they had an email address, phone number to call, email address to email stuff too. That look, this is the situation, they're coming here and they're taking people back on the same plane with them to go and work. Never hear that in history anywhere in the world. But they're taking them back same time to go and work. Oh, don't worry about any entry requirements and place to stay there and so. The Cayman Islands government is going to deal with all of that for you. And even if that was the case, even if that had happened to be true, in the interest of your Grenadian people, you would make sure, in the same way that when the Ministry of Labour before was sending people out to work in Canada and so, you had the then Commissioner of Labour, Mr. Cyrus Griffith, used to go out to Canada and so on to visit the farms and see where the Grenadian workers are going, where they're going to be staying, what conditions they're going to be working under. That at least he used to make the visit so that, hey, we're not just going to say the Grenadians are looking for workplace mashup, we're sending them. But that you check beforehand, before these people leave. Cyrus Griffith used to go and check. Every now and again, they would make a visit to some of the farms. And that's what the people, as they say, the apple picking. It's not only apples, but that program that people go to Canada and so. They would go and check on what are the conditions so that even when they're speaking to people here before you become part of the program, they let you know what conditions you're going to meet. So that you have an understanding that, hey, you're going into a place that's going to be real cold, but you can't say it's cold this morning and not going out to work. You have to go out to work. And you could say that because you visited and you saw. But this government, if this thing was real, was just going and take some Grenadians and throw them on a plane and send them Cayman Islands. Without understanding where they're going to work. Next thing, you had females in the mix and they end up in the wrong type of business out there. Next thing, you had males going out there and end up in the wrong type of business. You don't know. But yet still you had big press thing coming out about this is what. Come on, man. That's the way that you do business as a government. You don't even say, well, okay, let's give this a 1 month so that we can send representatives from Grenada to go and view and so on. I mean, the whole thing was fake anyway. But if it was real, I'm saying, that at least you would have said, well, let's send some folks there to go and check and see what the situation is. Where will they be? Are they staying in dormitories? What are these? Where are these dormitories? How are they situated? Are our people safe there? They put them in a high crime area? What is this? Nothing like that. Just send in your CV to this and we will send you. All excitement. Rush. Everything for this. Rush. No proper strategic planning. And I'm in St. George today and people are speaking and they're saying, well, this government is asking everybody to donate and everybody to donate their time and that sort of thing. And they're asking, well, what is the government doing with the over $100 million they've already collected? Is it not a case where they could say, well, okay, we're going to take 600 able-bodied people from Grenada. We are going to put them into a training camp for 2 weeks. And then we are going to send them to Carriacou with the specific aim and objective of removing debris from various areas in a strategic manner. And while you're doing that, you're also, because that's what Trinidad did for us. They took a number of able-bodied people, they put them into a training camp, so they understood after Hurricane Ivan that they were coming to Grenada, that they had an aim and objective, that they were flying the flag of their country, that the conditions that they're coming to meet, they're not going to sleep in a hotel, they'll be in a tent, and the situation will be this, they're going to be bathing here, you're going to be doing this, that is the situation. So they came with an understanding of what they were coming to meet. And they came and they worked and they went. So even within Grenada now, we can say, okay, if you don't want to take 600, take 400. It took the new National Party just under 3 months to find opportunities for over 2,000 young people in coming to office. You're telling me this administration cannot find 600 able-bodied Grenadians right now to take to Carriacou to go and set up camp and to work towards the cleaning and restoration of Carriacou? Or even if you say you're taking 400 from here or 300 from here and 300 on Carriacou itself, and you're paying them, and they can't say they don't have money to pay them. They're asking for volunteers to go. They could pay people too. Not everything is volunteer work. I mean, so the money could come in for the hurricane cleanup and restoration, you know. They have remember, this government has over $100 million over that already. The CRIF payments have come in already. They already have these monies. Nawasa get what? Over $2 million US. Grenlec has money to collect. The government already collect. So they have collected these monies. Plus they're receiving financial donations from other countries. Is anybody keeping tabs on what is coming in? The Cayman Islands come. All we hear is they gave a monetary contribution. Over the weekend, I'll take the time and listen over everything clearly. They gave a monetary contribution. Is the monetary contribution $1 million? 500,000? Is it 300,000 US? What is it? All we heard is that they gave a monetary contribution. We need to know. Somebody needs to be keeping a tag on these things. And I'm not encouraging people not to contribute. I'm not encouraging people not to volunteer. I'm saying that parallel to that the government has a response. All the mobilization they could mobilize. And all they know to do everything. They know to do that. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
Mr. Scott.
Yes, sir.
I could never believe this government's so wicked. Mr. Scott, I was listening to Jenny's program this afternoon and I came from work. And Jenny showed some clips that they have in Petit Martinique, some garbage bag with their beasts that they put on the side for them to remove because they clean up the place. And they don't give them good broom. They're using these broom and them, this bush broom they're using to sweep. And to see this government, what this government real wicked in. The people have not even, you understand, it's not dumb truck to come and call that garbage for in Petit Martinique. The people, I understand they have to close up the kitchen, too much flies.
Well, what my friend, what I could say is this, there's supposed to be, the situation with garbage removal from Petit Martinique is as this. There's usually a vessel that comes over to Petit Martinique and collects the garbage on the island. I'm not trying to protect anybody, I'm just giving you an idea of what the situation is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no place on Petit Martinique. It's a very small island, so there's no place on Petit Martinique to get rid of garbage. So a specific boat usually comes over and collects the garbage from Petit Martinique, brings it over to mainland Carriacou, and then it's transported on mainland Carriacou to the Dumfries dump site. Now, that boat, from what I've picked up, was damaged during Hurricane Beryl. I'm not sure if it's been repaired and it's running now, but I know that it was damaged. From what I heard when I was in Petit Martinique, because I was in Petit Martinique, I heard that vessel has been damaged. any government worth the salt by this point in time would have done get a barge and move the garbage.
Obviously.
You wouldn't say, well, okay, the boat damaged and dies it and you're just leaving the garbage there. It's human beings that living in Petit Martinique.
Obviously. And if you had consideration for the people of Petit Martinique, by then you should have a badge ready to pick up the garbage, because you see that it's a natural disaster. They didn't cause it, they didn't create it for themselves. They don't cause the hurricane to come to damage them for themselves. It happened. I think the government don't care about the people of Petit Martinique. Not even Carriacou.
They care about anybody?
They don't care about nobody. They care about themselves. Because I understand right now, all of them lying in Carriacou and they're having a good time with Delma, all of them up there.
I don't think they realize too that we, the people of Carriacou, don't want to see them. We're not interested. They are not helping any situation. They are only going up there for photographs and video, and only a GIS camera, for the GIS staff. Only a GIS camera. Them fellas and them taking boat more than they taking bus. Every minute they're up in Carriacou. And what for? What you need in Carriacou is you need people who are going to be helping the situation.
Is obviously.
But instead, you have who want to be star boy. So you have the you have the MP for the South that running in Carriacou. So is alive when he on the boat and he going up. I'm going up. I'm going to do that. And then when they reach in Carriacou and they reach, is to go and then they outside and they're doing this and they're doing that, and it's more people in Carriacou not interested in that. They're not. What they're interested in is getting their lives and their businesses back together.
The new company that came there that set up the thing in Carriacou, what's the name of him?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You have to be more specific.
The thing in Carriacou.
No, not the thing in Carriacou. You have to be very specific what you're talking about, because I wouldn't just know which company. What is the company doing?
With Devon O'Shea.
Oh, no, it's not a company, but that is an organization. You're talking about Samaritan Purse.
Well, my Biden.
Samaritan Purse, yeah.
What is it?
Samaritan Purse, yeah.
Okay. And I listened to some clip again today where the Samaritan Purse, when they arrive in Grenada, I didn't know my man take his fast niece and go on the airport as ambassador, and he not ambassador. He want us to be an heartbeat day. I didn't want to call him in. But he fighting for the passport for his wife. And he couldn't get it. When the people on the airport, I understand, while they're on the airport, Nagma came. They come with the trucks and all kind of things to come and collect things from the people and them. Not knowing is Devon O'Shea name that they on the document. So they had to take all the truck and go back. Because the clip have been played today, we see them.
Well, what I do know is this, and I've said it on the program here during last week. Bishop Devon Roche, has worked with the Samaritan Purse for over a decade. I know that. I've been personal friends with Mr. Roche from our days working together in the Ministry of Youth way back in 2006, 2007. Now, Mr. Roche, Bishop Roche, has been working along with the Samaritan Purse, I could tell you, from probably 2010, 2011, yeah, somewhere around there. He's been working with them. Now, outside of that, he is also regional coordinator for the Christmas program that they have. They have a regional Christmas program where they provide toys for children and so on. He's been working, he's the regional coordinator for that. He has also worked in the Pacific Islands. So he's worked in the Pacific and the Caribbean coordinating programs. He's worked in other countries when there have been natural disasters, and so he's been there representing. And I recognize when I saw the article written, that Dunce article that was written by the New Today newspaper, basically trying to write him out of the story and write in other people, simply because they consider him, I don't know if Mr. Roche tell them that, but they consider him to be a new national party because he ran for the NNP before. So it seems to be a problem for them that he ran for the NNP before. So they're trying to write him out. But obviously, the organization was contacted even before the hurricane hit, which is why within 48 hours of the hurricane hit, Samaritan Purse was already landed on the airport here, you know.
That's what I understand.
And the reason for that, it have nothing to do with the NDC administration and everything to do with Bishop Devon Roche.
That's what I understand.
Because they would have been in communication, I am sure, even before the hurricane hit that. Look, it looks like Grenada is going to get hit. And these people mobilized. So within 48 hours, they were landed at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. Yeah, and then they went up to Carriacou and so on, and they've been doing and continue to do an excellent job. It's sad that people would try to manipulate them politically because these people are not into politics, huh?
Okay.
They're not into politics.
Yeah, I understand. They're not in politics. They're just an organization running that organization. They don't have no differences. They will help anybody.
Yeah.
Once the need comes around to help, they will help. And another thing I want to say, Mr. Scott, this thing about the 2007, 2007, when Dr. Mitchell signed up for this insurance thing with the what do you call it? I find we should press more on that.
My friend,
we should press a lot on that because a lot of NEC taking blame, saying no, because remember they understand it's 2023. Grenada signed up as well too. So they're trying to make it look as if it's them that started this thing, and them that will be getting that money. And I think we should press more on that.
Let me ask you though.
Dr. Mitchell what created that.
Let me ask you though. Where did you hear that Dr. Mitchell was the one that was behind that since 2007? Because obviously if it was 2007, it was a new national party in office.
That's correct.
So I mean, the mere fact that they hear that the government of Grenada joined into that in 2007 shows that as much as you say it, these people will never learn because they're not interested in learning. Yeah, they're not interested in knowing. They have their agenda, they know the truth, they see the truth, but they refuse to accept the truth. So we could say it here from now on, we will say it, and we could continue saying it, but they will never accept it because they refuse to accept the truth.
Well, I will continue saying it. Even in my workplace, I will be continuing saying, let them know because they're giving the people impression it's them that create that problem, that bring that insurance for them to get that money.
What I would say to you is continue to say it, but don't lose no sleep over them saying it. That's what I'm getting at because they see the truth, they know the truth, and they refuse to accept the truth. Yeah? So don't.
All right, Sheldon, because I don't take much time because I know many people want to call and I want to hear people calling and give their views as well.
Okay, great. Thank you
so much. That is what the program is about. We want to hear one another.
No problem, my brother.
So have a good night. And I just want to say again my sympathy to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Hold strong. Be confident. I know what you're going through is not easy, but with the new National Party back in office, we will see you through. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you very much. And we have a caller online. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Sheldon.
Hey, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Talking Points. I'm doing pretty well. Sheldon, you know, I've been happening to listen to the press conference with Prime Minister Mitchell giving the assessment of all the damages and such and the costing. And to the NDCIs, if this thing flying over your heads, go back and listen carefully to what the reporter was saying. Grenada was a founding member of CRIF. Founding. Which means we were the first to sign up on that. You understand? And that was in 2007. What was amazing also, Sheldon, in that particular newscast, in that press conference there, the PM was asked about signing on Grenada and Nawasa. And I think the terms expired in May 2023. But Grenada was a private entity. Hence the reason why Grenada wasn't signed to that. When the PM was asked that question, look at his face. Look at his whole demeanor. He that was fighting against Grenada from getting back Grenada. That's the level of people you all have running your country. NDC supporters who listen to Talking Points, go back and watch that program and tell me what you all feel. Give the money props. Give Dr. Mitchell props. If you don't want to give money anything else, give me props. You only want to give Gary independence. You only want to give Bishop MNIB. Give Dr. Mitchell props. Man, oh God. Are they seeing it every day? These people just lying. Sheldon, I happened to listen to Brother Cox already on GBN. And they were talking about who lose their house. And I could see Brother Cox, like I say. I see the trauma in him. And this talking about that Tevin lost the house. You know, long behold, that's not true. It's when I see the video this afternoon, I was like, my God, why these men doing this thing? Why these men coming and lie
my friend,
blatantly?
My friend, I personally with my own eyes, saw the minister's house. The minister ain't lose nothing. The door was damaged and that was it. The front door was damaged. He has metal windows. Those are fully intact. His roof is fully intact. The house is fully intact. So the only thing that was damaged was the front door. I could tell you that because I saw it myself.
Sheldon, I like to tell you, I still empathize with the people that is in Carriacou and what they're going through. But I'm telling you, I have a family member that went to Carriacou yesterday morning. And I get pictures right now from Carriacou, Jordan. What I seen up there and what I hear these people doing on social media is not nice. And they know what they're doing is not nice, and they're doing it purposely, and they're fooling the outside people. But hear what? They want to bring up all this thing about Dr. Mitchell. They're saying about farm and this farm and that farm. I have some news for you, Sheldon. Then you go talk behind the scene, because what I hear about a certain former minister of finance, we go talk.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, fam, nah, they ain't gonna come here with them thing. They know they will go with that, yeah? No, all the serious thing, no, nothing not going on with the minister house. I mean, I could tell you that. I could tell you nothing go wrong with Tevin Place. Tevin Place, nice and dandy, yeah. Most happen is the door, yeah, look at damage, as you could see. Is the minister homeless? That look as homeless to all, yeah? I ain't think, no windows ain't gone, them, and the other side is the same. Yeah, windows ain't gone. The door was a bit damaged, and that's been put back in place, but and that he's not homeless. He's not homeless at all. So I mean, yeah, telling people that is one thing, but he's definitely not homeless. Yeah, that's the minister place that way staying. Yeah, so to try and tell people, I mean, yeah, I know maybe he lose the sheet. He maybe lose the sheet. That may be what you mean. You over. Somebody give that man a sheet. Yeah, he maybe lose the sheet. That may be what he's stressing over and thinking. Maybe lose the sheet. That is possibly it. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think about. Right? 440. 440 says sometimes you can laugh at the wrong thing. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers to get on the inside. And yes, Dominica did give $1 million as well. Yeah, $1 million. Nice. Yeah, that's from Dominica. So all of this money, yeah, you're telling me by now, you cannot say, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have X amount of people. They're going to, I mean, come on, man. At least something for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique right now. Yeah? Yeah, don't lie for us and tell us about it. Forget them. This 2024, you know, it's easy to get. Yeah. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Kevin knows.
Hello?
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, my dear.
What shit Kevin knows? Kevin lying too damn much.
You maybe lose the sheet, man. The sheet that he get from a good partner, man. That may be where you lose.
Tell him stop doing Grenada and that. The shit. You must lose it later.
All right, my dear. That's all as I Carriacou call. Yeah, 44073. Let me clear the line. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Daria, how are you doing? I hope everything is all well with you and the family. Springs people, good night to you. Yeah, no, don't lie and say them kind of thing about your home. You're homeless, my food. Come on, you're fooling with that kind of thing. Be honest. I mean, it is extremely difficult. You understand? They can't be honest. So it's difficult. Nearly impossible. Yeah, but don't say them kind of, it's not true. It's not true. But earlier, the caller was speaking about the situation with the garbage in Petit Martinique. And I'll say this, what I saw when I went up there was unacceptable. And yes, by this point in time, you will have a fly invasion. Yeah, and it is nothing to do with the people of Petit Martinique itself. As I said, there is a vessel that usually goes on specific days. It goes over to Petit Martinique, picks up the garbage, brings it across to Carriacou, and it is sent to the dump site in Carriacou. That vessel was not operating. I don't know if it is operating now, but if it is not operating now, I would think that anybody that care about people by now would have had a tug or some sort of vessel to collect that garbage and bring it across. Yeah? By now they would have collected that and bring it across to lessen up the stuff in Petit Martinique. Because you're not just talking about the galvanized and the lumber and all of these things and the rubble from the concrete. You're not just speaking about that. You're speaking here about organic waste. Yeah? That has to be transferred. And then you have the situations with that taking place, and then people have to be cooking, people have to be doing this. It's a serious situation. It is a serious situation. And remember, every day you're going to have people generating more and more waste. People have to eat. They're getting the food stuff, and so they said they got a lot of food stuff. And please understand, at that point in time, they may have had 3 or 4 people cooking, or so that's at that point in time. I think a lot of people misunderstood that to mean that Carriacou and Petit Martinique no longer need, no, they still need food. They still need assistance. Remember, again, you have people here, families, who have lost their employment, who have lost their businesses and so on. Some people have even lost their banking documents, everything gone. Yeah, so it's difficult for them at this point in time. Because you first have to, you have to establish your identity. Then you have to go back to the financial institutions, which are not open in Carriacou. So you have to come down to the mainland to do that, and then try to obtain money to get whatever money you might have in the bank to be able to do what you have to do. So it's a serious situation that they are in. So they still need the assistance. So the people in Petit Martinique, that's why when myself and Senator Cox were speaking, I was speaking about things like, as simple as it may sound, the plastic bottles that the water is going up in. Remember, now everybody's using that and multiple times a day, so you're increasing the amount of plastic that's on the island. We ain't hear the Minister of Climate Resilience or whatever, she disappear again. I know she may jump a plane already and gone. Yeah, I hope she come back with funding. Wherever she gone, if she gone. Because I realize she disappear again. If they're not lining up Carriacou, that is, she disappear again. But these are the sort of things that they should be looking into. Yeah? Because you're creating a man-made disaster on top of the natural disaster. The man-made disaster is the waste that's being generated by all these people that are still on the islands and those going to the islands. That waste that's being generated that you basically have nowhere for it to go. Yeah? Even if the plastic's going to the dump site. Remember, plastics take hundreds of years to degrade. So it's still going to be there. So what is the plan? What is the strategy to deal with these things? That's what we're looking to hear. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. I want to have a next one here. Let me hear this one. Oh boy, I'm trying to get a next song there and I ain't find again it to play. Hey, what happened to this thing? Play now. Yeah, that one ain't playing there. Let me see if we get this one to play. This one ain't playing either. Nah, don't worry, we'll get it, man. You go play. 440-7377-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside.
About John Doe, but I never heard about Olan. Maybe that's his brother. They say his name is Olan, and he is the PM right hand. Is he making?
And folks, I mentioned the marketing board earlier because there are complications that are going to be seen in the very near future for the farming community. I don't think we really recognize here in Grenada the danger that the agricultural sector is facing. You've had a serious dry season. Yeah, a really bad dry season that affected output. Previous to that, you had a dry spell that also affected agricultural output. And agricultural output by several of the larger farmers had already been reduced because the market, the steady, safe, secure market that they had, they used to quarrel in relation to payments, different things, but they know the money go come. But they knew that with the marketing board, instead of you having to keep it until you could get it to the Marketing and National Importing Board. So they reduced the amount that they were planting in several areas. They reduced the amount because the market closed on them. And then after they do that, now you get hit with these dry spells that further reduce the output that they have. In fact, I am pretty sure if you look at agriculture for the first half of this year, that there has been a significant decrease in output. Yeah? Significant decrease in agricultural output. Now, you have to couple that as well with a decrease in the amount of money that's coming in via fishing. Because the fishermen of Petit Martinique, not going out on long line in a hurry. You could recognize, you seen the boats down there on the Carriacou, because now they're focused on trying to rebuild a house, rebuild a home, somewhere for them to stay and for their family to stay. They're not going to leave their family there on Petit Martinique and they go on about the business out in the water for a week or two, go on and fish. They have to secure their family first, which means that that sector, the money that sector usually brings in, that gone too. So you have the dry spell already affecting agriculture. The lack of market with the marketing board gone. So farmers reduce on the output. So you had the dry spell and then the terrible dry season. And now when it comes to the fishing industry, you have serious challenges when it comes to that, because as well as not going out, several boats have been lost. Several boats gone. Some have been damaged, one or two. In fact, I was checking on one of the websites and I was seeing some of the boats that are out there that got loose from Grenada and they're out in the water just floating, going about their business. Yeah, including some of the tuna boats. Some sunk. So all of that is going to negatively affect your income, your economy, especially when it comes to the area of agriculture and fisheries. It's going to negatively affect it. But you don't hear them talking about that. You hear them talking about, don't go Carriacou and don't do this and don't do that and don't do the other, and we need you to do this and we need you to do that. But what are they doing? Which areas are they looking at to be able to stabilize the economy? Is it that they're going to try and open back the Russian market and try and sell more passports there again? What are they going to do to mitigate against that? And it's a valid question, considering the millions of dollars, because even nutmeg, when you check what happened in St. Patrick and St. Andrew and St. David and St. Mark and parts of St. John and even in St. George, you hear many farmers speaking of they lost their nutmeg trees. You hear many farmers talking they lose their cocoa trees. So those two important commodities as well have been severely impacted and affected by Hurricane Beryl. But we don't hear them, they ain't talking them kind of language, them kind of conversation, no. Go and stand up in front of the houses in Carriacou and try to convince people that is unlivable. Meanwhile, all you have people from all over staying there. But it's unlivable, ain't it? Yeah, that's what they have to do. 440-7377, 440-7377. That's the number to call and get onto the inside.
Please, maybe he's a PM too. Tell me.
Hey, Olio, as I play that tune here, I was supposed to get sued, ain't it?
And who take back the monies? Running all them vendors.
They better go back and listen to the program properly before they come with that stupidness, eh? Nice.
Every decision, every law that pass, Mr. Doe in charge. Olan is the boss, the boss, the boss. They say he's a very fierce skin man.
And folks, we also have to ask ourselves what is going on with the carnival. I'm in St. George on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day. And it's the same story when you're speaking to the bus drivers, when you're speaking to the vendors, when you're speaking to the store owners and the people working in the stores, when you're speaking to the average man on the street. And they're telling you the same thing, that it does not feel like Carnival. This does not feel as though you're just 3 weeks, well, less than 3 weeks now, basically 2 weeks away from your major cultural festival for the year. It doesn't feel as though you're heading into that. The mass bands, the main mass bands and so, you're not hearing about them. How much mass band launch all you know it had out here and so, and people rushing, as in the bands that always around. You heard about any mass band launching and that sort of thing? You're not hearing those things. And I think it's because this committee, this Spice Mass committee, every one of them need to be fired as far as I'm concerned. Listen, I ain't care. All of them need to be fired and kept as far away from culture as possible as far as I am concerned. From Kurt to Bert, whoever it is, just get rid of all of them in that Spice Mass committee. All of them had to go. Yeah? And I say that with absolutely no apology or intention of apology. These people all need to go. They are incompetent. They are doing an exceptionally terrible job. In fact, it is my belief that they believe that Carnival is going to happen no matter what. So don't worry, people will come out and play jab. And when people come out and play jab, we go just say, yes, boy, you ain't see people? Take a 2 picture when it have a lot of people, and yeah, jab was successful. That the foreign bands who are coming in and they're bringing in all their costumes and so on, because we are quickly losing the ability to create the mass costumes on island, because a lot of ready-made stuff is taking over now. So you just go and you go onto the websites and you order how much bikinis out of China, and you order how much headpieces, and you just do a basic thing with a glue gun here, bam, 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 and you have costumes. You send and you get a few cases of feathers, and you put them on, bam, 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 costume. Yeah? So the skills for the wire bending and the crafting of costumes and so on, we are losing that. That's going. We're losing all of that. Yeah? But they're doing nothing to save that. You hear they're doing workshop in wire bending and costume creation, and so you hear they're calling out the mass bands and saying, well, okay, we need you all to come in. We want to understand what you want. It's problem for subvention. It's problems with, you can't bring portable toilets. You can't bring this. You can't bring that. Your truck had to be limited to this size. And if you're over this size, you have to pay a $5,000 extra and all these sort of things. Instead of trying to help what is now a dying art form, they're helping to put the final nail in the coffin before they throw it in the hole. That's what they're doing. That's why I say they need to go. And then you ask yourself, well, in all of this, where's the cultural foundation? At least as an advisory body over to Spice Mass and the Spice Mass Corporation to give some advice on the way to go. And then you realize, well, wait, you need to get rid of the head there too. That one need to go. Because they can't even advise. So instead of our culture being preserved, it is being seriously damaged. So this year now you realize less pretty mass. Don't even talk about the traditional mass, you're barely hearing about it. And you realize the people who play in the shortney are generally the same people who've been playing shortney for years, and now the grandchildren and the children come in and that sort of thing. So the traditional mass itself, they're having a problem. They're having a problem. Something is not right. And we do not have the correct people in place to address the problems that we're having when it comes to Spice Mass. You have the wrong set of people. Square peg in wrong hole. So they can't fit, they can't do the work. So something definitely has to take place, and something has to take place soon. Yeah? Other than that, we may just find, and the thing is, Spice Mass was actually building up. It was actually building up as one of the premier events in the region. Everybody was talking about Spice Mass, people leaving their own mass. Sometimes they're not going theirs, but they're looking to come Grenada to go ours. And now we end up in the situation where ours has started to go back. Yeah? So something definitely has to be done. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Still saying to all of you who are coming home for the Spice Mass, welcome home. We are sorry it may not be up to the standard that you're usually used to.
Wrote a song, my fans tell me straight, then send you to leave.
so for next year competition. My fans tell me straight.
We have a call online. Hello, good night.
You see, just so you make me vex with you,
Oh, what have I done? What have I done?
Vex with you, so just so.
What have I done?
Good afternoon, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and by extension, the diaspora. Sheldon, you just make me vex with you, just so. Them music, I ain't see them in my email at all. I call Young Song today, and you're laughing. I find 24 archive is not moving.
Bro.
I get the Dash and the Boise and all them already.
Bro.
Them what you playing there.
You can't say that.
Talk to me.
I put that in We Noise last night.
Oh, it was last night.
I put it in the chat. You see?
No,
I put it in the chat.
You have to send it in the email, but I have to send it via email. I can't play. When them boy copyright it, I can't play it. But if you give me email and I get a hit for playing it, I can just forward the email to them. Because once I get it in email, that means I have the right to play it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So email it to me. You have email address. Square hole in, what I say? Square things in round hole?
Square pegs in round holes.
Square pegs in round hole.
Mm-hmm.
Rockstone in mortar. Pestle can't break it.
Mm-hmm.
But the point you made about
they're planting sugar cane in the cornhole.
Yeah, in cornhole, man.
The
point you make about people leaving other their native land, their nationality, like Trinidad, St. Vincent, don't go to their carnival just to come Grenada is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 200% fact. I know a bunch of Caribbean folks, people in the business along with me, do radio DJs and things, who don't go to Trinidad no more for carnival. They might go for borrowed day, but that is it.
Mm-hmm.
Because last year I get complained. This year they're complaining again.
I got a message for you. The NYPD said to email yourself.
Nah.
They say you have 6 fake emails. So email yourself. The NYPD send a message. You just say tell Wade to email yourself.
I don't worry about that. Somebody called me today. I'm talking to someone today and they tell me, they say, hey, you have to report to the border. I said, what do you mean report to the border? Yeah, man, they say you have to report to the border. The Canadian and the US immigration say you have to report to the border. Hey, stop.
But before we lose track, though, let's go back on this particular one. You were saying that a lot of the folks leaving their country, I know it for a fact. I meet a lot of Trinidadians
DJs.
Yeah.
Plenty top-notch DJs in Brooklyn.
They say they feel safer here and it's more energetic.
And the US, Texas, and all over, Vincentian, Dominican, St. Lucians. They do not go to Carnival in Beijing. They don't go to Carnival in their country no more. From 2018, 19, the influx was, they come in Grenada. When I came home in 2018, 11 folks came down about a week later behind me because they know I go down for Carnival. In 2019, the numbers doubled. Right? When them guys come back in Brooklyn, all they're talking about is Grenada Carnival. That's all they're talking about. Do you know that if you will quicker go to a Trini party or you have an event with a Trinidadian, a Vincentian, a Guyanese, Bajan, St. Lucian DJ and hear more Grenadian music than them Grenadian DJs in New York?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. Grenadian DJs hardly play their music. Them Trini and them other DJ, national, regional DJs just come to me for music. Every year I just had to zip all Grenada. I doesn't select nothing. Whatever I get, I just zip it and just send it to everybody. These people appreciate our carnival a lot more than their carnival. The fun, the safety of the country, the lovingness and the kindness and the beauty of the people and the freedom to just roam anywhere in Grenada. Some guys came over with me in 2018. I saw them the Friday. We came in the Friday. Well, 6 of them. We came in the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, the Monday. We sit down in Monjolo in front of the house and I tell them, hey, look, the bus coming and all you ain't going again now. And after that, me see them guys and them again until Carnival Wednesday. I mean, I see them in passing, like coming in the house, they pay and they go in.
Mm-hmm.
They all over the country. Them telling me about, calling me and telling me about oil long in Budge Grove and lime in Tivoli. I said, but well, you know, boy, we bounce up our bus man, boy, and the man take we and gone with it all over the country. That's what people like about Grenada.
But I'll tell
That's
you
what
this,
people like about
because
Grenada.
you see, Grenada is much more than you come and you go to our 2 shows and you're done. Grenada is an experience. So you see, all these bloggers have been coming to Grenada. I know one particularly extremely excitable one. She goes to all the carnival around the region, and she came, and when she started speaking about Grenada, she fell in love. So the thing is, it's much more than it's how people interact with you, that you're in town and you might be passing in a bar and somebody hear the accent and they realize there's not a Grenadian. And they start to talk and they might say, well, hey, drink something.
Yeah, people make reference. Yeah, people make a lot of reference to that.
Drink something.
You know, they realize you're not a local person, and all of a sudden like a guy tell me, say, man, I was in town, you know, looking for a bus to go, and the guy, it was him, his wife, and a few others. And somebody asked him, where you want to go? Where you going? And he tell him, some Salaka, you want to go? He say, all the man tell me, say, stay, I'm coming right back, stay right here. I will take all you. I'll go and pick up my lady. And he said, they're still right there. And the guy came back in about 20 minutes and put them in the vehicle and take them to the Salaka. And after Salaka, he bring them wherever and take them here and bring them all the way back in town.
Because
you know? They hang out with that gentleman until the day. As a matter of fact, he even took them to the airport the day we were all leaving.
Yeah. And you see, it's the experience. It's the experience. And what is happening right now is that feeling that you usually get around that point in time, it is not there.
It's not in the air. It's not in the atmosphere.
And there's nothing helping to build up towards that as well.
No, there's no build up to it, because you can't tell me Carnival coming up in Grenada right now. Well, I'm in Canada. Yesterday I was in a part of Canada, you know, where we went to a group of people, Canadians and nationals, some kind of whatever. And I'm playing. Well, after your program has concluded, and they switched back to the station, and they're listening to the local music, and one of them said, tell me, he said, bro, Grenada really having Carnival? He said, because sometimes I listen to stations in Grenada, and all I hear is a bunch of reggae, and, you know, no vibe, no build up, no vibe towards the Carnival. These are things people are talking about. They just dry. You know? It's like you're living in the Middle East, you know, there's no moisture in the air.
I know about the Middle East, I never go there. But I'll tell you this though. Part of the thing is, okay, usually you would have Carnival City. There was an attempt to do a Carnival City at a particular location. We heard that they got into some sort of legal challenge in relation to having it there, because it was within a residential area. So that had to be cancelled. They didn't have a backup plan. So this is the 18th of July, no Carnival City.
No Carnival City.
Yeah? You're not hearing about road show and that sort of thing. No road shows. Nope. And all of these things used to be a build up to the carnival itself, but you're not.
The carnival carnival show preliminaries and so forth. You know, I mean, Beryl did a destructive.
The preliminaries are taking place, but it's
and
the energy isn't there, man.
It's not there. It's not there. It's just not there. You know, it's just not there. You know, people are complaining about the events. Man, come on, man, come on.
Well, and that's the other thing. That's the other thing too. I often believe in the philosophy of a good friend of mine that the Caribbean really have one carnival, but it's different locations.
Different locations. That's what it is.
I believe in that. And I believe
we have one food. We have one food. It's just named differently.
Nah, don't try that.
You know,
we have oil long Trinidadian have his breadfruit soup. We have oil long Trinidadian, and don't even get me started on the current rule. But Grenadians have have proper oil long Trinidadians have breadfruit soup. So
you're talking about the white boy that go in that roti shop on Nostrand and Sterling. And talk about he was in Grenada and he the dry current root. I see that, I laugh every week.
I don't even get into that. But what I'm saying is this though, Wade. With the carnival itself, with the carnival, people will tell you, and Trinidadians often say this to me when I meet up with them, and even people from other countries. that Grenada's carnival, where it was at, and I have to say was at because it doesn't seem to be heading that direction this year, where it was at is where Trinidad's carnival was years before. And they have lost the essence. That Trinidad carnival is no longer look at us, but now look at me.
Trinidad carnival, from the time Marshall moved to Hollywood, to Beverly Hills, into that scene, and brought that crowd into Trinidad, they has just concentrated their carnival predominantly for those people. Right? It's not about the local thing anymore. Mm-hmm. It's about the movie stars and these people that's coming into Trinidad for carnival. That's where the focus is. Right? Mm-hmm. Because now you have carnival in Beverly Hills and Hollywood now. A lot of people didn't know that. Beverly Hills and Hollywood just have their own carnival every year now. Right? Marshall Montano and them plays have an intrinsic part in it.
My whole thing is this.
Go ahead.
Grenada needs to understand the importance of what we have and how we need to maintain that.
And maintain it and blossom it.
Right. You see, for instance, Carriacou, if you're speaking Shakespeare Mass, you have children who have already started in the Shakespeare Mass. So you know that tradition is going to survive. The quadrille and
because of the age.
You're right. The quadrille and so, yes, it is still surviving. But they make an effort so that you have a lot of young people that could play string instruments and so on. So you could see that there's an actual effort being made to pass the culture from one generation to the other.
Into the next,
We are not seeing such a heavy focus on that here on the mainland in preserving the culture. And eventually, if we don't do that, we're going to just start ending up looking like Trinidad Carnival.
Yeah.
We're going to just start looking like everybody else carnival. Our uniqueness will be lost. So we have to focus on what we have.
Commercialize.
What makes it special and how do we develop that.
Just commercialize.
Yeah.
Trinidad carnival just commercialize. That's it. Everything come from overseas. All the costume, everything is ready-made, as you were saying earlier. They go on Shein, Alibaba, Temu, and all these different websites, and they could just buy these things in massive bulk, in great bulk.
No, you also have the situation now. Years ago, when they started singing on rhythms, I remember one person making the comment that it's going to damage the art form because you have one rhythm and about 3 or 4 fellas
no creativity
making the quarterfinals with that rhythm, and so that's a problem. You have as well. Remember years ago when you started off with the Monday night mass, which is something that I think always amazes visitors to Grenada, the Monday night mass. Together with the Juve, I think the next big thing that they really enjoy is that Monday night mass.
Monday night mass. Is really nice.
But
it's exceptional carnival time.
It started off as a $25 t-shirt mass.
Yeah.
Right now, what's the price of Monday night?
Mass.
You have Monday night mass packages
$100.
Hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, $100. When we played mass in 2019, we paid $250 per person, and I was like, "Yo, this is ridiculous." It is ridiculous, and what they're giving you does not, bro. What we collected for a costume per person, when you come back in the States and you price it, it does not equivalent to, I would say, I don't want to exaggerate. It doesn't equivalent to 50 US. Seriously.
But you recognize that because some of the items, if you go on to a Chinese shopping site right now and you price them thing, it's just a few cents. So
a few
cents. In the bulk that they are bought, it's just a few cents for them.
It's been cheaper.
But it's a money-making thing. I can't fault people for trying to make their money and that sort of thing. But again,
they're going ridiculous.
The moment the Monday night mass started to expand like that, there was an effect on the pretty mass.
Yes.
Yeah, there was an effect on the pretty mass. The moment we started having Juves on a Tuesday morning, it affected the last lap. It affected the Carnival Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because for instance,
when they start having Carnival like in St. David's or the other parishes Tuesday morning and them kind of thing. Yeah. It affected the last lap pretty mass.
You have an individual who goes to whatever show it have on Thursday, whether it's Queen Show or whatever, they go that show. That is after they come out the Wednesday night Shoka show, whether it's Killer or Talpri or whoever.
Yep.
Then they go, then Friday night into Saturday morning, they've gone to Soca Monarch, Groovy Monarch. They might go to Panorama or the White Show on the Saturday night.
Show. Saturday night. Yeah.
Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday there might be some brunch or some kind of thing. They gone to that, or even if they stay in the village and they make a cook or whatever, into Juve, and then from the Juve into Monday night mass. By the time they finish Monday night mass, and they go the Tuesday morning Juve if they could make it. Tell me how they're coming out and play.
They wipe out. They wipe out.
You have to have energy. So I think a lot more strategy and planning needs to take place in relation to our carnival. That's the bottom line. Yeah, that's just and those are just my personal. You know, that's me.
I share your view. I share the view with you on it too, because over the years I have sat down with people and had the same discussion, and I was like, yes, as much as things are being creative, we cannot lose the view and the perspective of the things that were there before. It has to coincide with each other, because when you do certain things, you tend to forget the things that was there before. You're forgetting what created the whole spectrum, you know, of the festival. So everything have to work. Yeah, you could have the Monday night mass, or you could have, but you have to make sure it does not affect, as you always say, last lap Tuesday, you know, or whatever amongst all the other events. Because, bro, I used to tell people Carnival in Grenada started from Labbe Festival. You know. When I was home, before I traveled, when Labbe Festival come,
Rainbow City.
That Friday, Rainbow City. When that Friday is when Carnival started. You know. I tell people, our Carnival last 2 weeks. And they're going, what are you talking about? Bro, Rainbow City, you're going straight into Carnival.
Wait,
right?
Before the other caller and them cause bye. We'll talk about
still vex with you. Just so I still vex with you, man. Talk to you later, my friend.
All right, I'll load you up when we're done. Yeah, no problems. Yeah.
All right, blessed, man.
All right. 440-737. That's my good friend Wade. We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn. Well, I would say Brooklyn and Canada. So, yes, indeed. 440-7377 and 347-329-310. Just a few, that's just my personal views. Some of my personal views in relation to what has been taking place with the carnival. I'm looking at the carnival from the 1990s. I could only look from the early 1990s come up. And you've been seeing these changes taking place in it. And it's not that the changes are bad, but it is, you need to start aligning things a little better. Because you don't want to be damaging one thing for another thing to survive. You want both to survive, yeah? So you don't want to kill Monday night mass. You don't want to kill pageant. You don't want to kill anything. You want everything to try and survive, yeah? And at the same token, you want to offer people opportunities for different activities. So there are many activities. You go to what you can, yeah? Don't do like how the Spice Mass come and tell you what they're saying now. They not having any other show. You can't bring any foreign artists and so to perform. As I tell people and they want to bring the foreign artists, these people can only talk, you know. They can't do all nothing for that. Yeah? These people that only talk, they can't do all nothing for that. Right? Anyhow. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah? Those are the numbers to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program.
The situation in my country, Grenada is on life support. So to wait until next year will be a tragedy. So much burning issues to conquer, so much burning issues to fight. That depends on whether you live, whether you're gonna out of sight. So next year for me is a no-no. Because my country needs me now. So whether I boss on stage, I won't feel at home. There's a resurgence of gang warfare. Our streets are filled with guns. I'm telling you straight, I can't be too late.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, you'll get you hold on that one. Yeah, a little later on, right? 440-737-73, Yeah, so that is one thing. What we're seeing happening with the carnival. And again, there are economic situations that will be taking place if the carnival is not up to scratch. There are a lot of people that depend on the carnival. You're hearing about on Jenny's program, and you all need to look at Jenny's program today if you didn't get a chance. I got it at the end, so I didn't get the entire program because, I always back and forth doing different things, and JJ ain't easy to deal with. But she was speaking about the carnage and the fact that the carnage is now being taken out of the equation in relation to the carnival, and in particular because of the lights that they have put up. The same lights that they have not yet provided the information to the parliament in relation to. I'm hoping when they have the next parliament sitting that they would finally furnish the leader of His Majesty's opposition with the information he requested regarding the spending of that $22 million that they received for, well, we don't know if it's 22 or 14 or 7. Remember, it's different stories we're hearing because, again, there's lie so much. But we need to hear what is taking place when it comes to those lights. Are those lights now a permanent fixture? Because if they are a permanent fixture, I know myself and several others have a serious problem with them being a permanent fixture there. Yeah? It's okay during the season or so, you say, well, okay, we have the lights and so during the independence, right, that's one thing. But now you're going to change the carnival route because you put some lights there and you didn't think about that being part of the carnival route, and you're putting the lights. You didn't think about that. Yeah? So now the people who usually get the opportunity to vend, utilizing the carnage, everybody now want to try and find a space along the Kirani James Boulevard into the Port Highway. Everybody had to go, all the people who usually get the look of blind by going down on the carnage. They now have to fight up with everybody else who already usually does be along the Kirani James Boulevard coming over into the Port Highway. And then remember, they were trying to get rid of the vendors on the Port Highway. Eh? They were trying to, I ain't hear no update on that, but they were trying to get rid of the vendors on the Port Highway. And now you have this situation where even more people are going to have to go around there to sell. Because nobody ain't going and say, well, I'll go in and sell on the carnage. Because it have nothing going there, no trucks going there, no bands passing there, anything. Everything is going to be on the Port Highway itself and Kirani James Boulevard. So nobody going to go on the carnage knowing that it ain't going to have nothing on the carnage. Or maybe they know that the entire thing is going to be smaller than it usually is. So they're trying to cram you into a smaller space for it to look bigger. Could it be that is what they're doing? They probably find that, hey, the thing ain't going to be as big as it does normally be. We're not seeing the amount of people who usually looking to come booked for coming into Grenada. So probably they're trying to force everybody into a smaller area so it seems bigger. Could be that. We never know. We have a caller online. Hello, good evening.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, sir.
Those lights on the carnage, is well down or bolt down the top of it?
They're bolted.
Well,
they're bolted into the ground.
I'm going to give them an idea, right? But I want you to negotiate with them for me, right? If the lights is bolt down, all they have to do is to slacken the bolt on the piece of iron that jutting out over, turn it on the side and tighten it up again. Mm-hmm. You know, either you tighten it facing up, put it facing up or put it facing down. And you tighten it so you have enough space to pass. You know. Mm-hmm. Negotiate with that for me and see what they say.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think there's any intention by them to remove those lights. There's no intention. Yeah, you can already see rust on the base of some of them. You can see rust gathering there and so on. But there doesn't seem to be any intention by them to remove those lights. That's well, as far as I can see. Yeah, I don't think there's any intention to remove those lights from there. Right? 4407377. And I didn't realize that I heard some folks speaking earlier about Seaweed, but I didn't realize that it was that bad. I do live in the Grand Anse area, but I have not been to the Grand Anse beach for a while, so I didn't realize it have so much seaweed on the Grand Anse beach right now. I didn't realize the thing bad. So, Mr. Prime Minister, with them net and them, you remember you're supposed to be netting them thing and them. We have a call online. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Brother Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good, my brother. I'm good.
All right, go right ahead.
You know, this man talking about turning and fighting, they should take it on. They should get that done. Sell the iron and give the money to Carriacou. All right. On a serious note, you know, whenever you listen your program, Master Carl, Andre Donald, Tanti Jenny, we papa, we don't talk about Tanti Jenny. Then the principal, I'm not hearing the boss these days. You are so refreshed. The truth just stare you down. The truth just jump out of these programs. So much more the clips, Brother Sheldon. You see the clips that you all play from time to time on those programs? And the voices, I mean, it's not AI, it's just the literal thing. Crowns it off. And when I, right, have heard that in 2007, when the wise political leader and prime minister of our dear country had the initiative to sign on Grenada, to insure Grenada. Well, that's like insuring a big car, big Benz or something. So Grenada is a big Benz. Insure Grenada, should in case there's any, like what happened, disaster, etc. The administration came in 2008, stare it down, knew about it, never signed on to it. Not until we return, 2013 coming up there, this government signed on. Not this government, you know, not this NDC, you know, the NNP, under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell and his cabinet, wisely did that. Sign on to this thing. That's why today we could receive all this money. I mean, only for Nawasa, who signed on late, and you know, who insured late, and even Grenlec, because Grenlec was private. You know, until we got it back. You see? So bro, we really wish that the people of Grenada, of Carriacou and Pitimatnik would press this administration and let them pay, let them do like St. Vincent, the Prime Minister Gonzalo, giving the people, right, a payment for working in their own country, because they understand that the burial went to the jobs. Same that's happened to Carriacou. In Carriacou, the people don't have any work to sustain their lives. And then the government tying up all the money. They have all the money in their hand. Yeah? $4,518 million in their hand, plus what they got from Dominica and other places. Right? So I'm asking this government to pay the people. That is not independence. That's now 50-year anniversary where you had all the money and then you still tell people volunteer because your country, nationalism. Is a set of sensationalists we have running this country, and as the guy said to the girl, Google it, cockistocracy, cockistocratic government. You know, the people of the worst administration could ever find. Disrespecting the police in the presence of the commissioner of police. We need to talk about those things. We Grenadians are too quiet about those things. That's disrespect. And we're talking about we are a Christian society. Hell no. Joke you're making Christian society. And Christians sitting down in the same seat. When the Bible talk about don't sit in the seat of the scornful or the, you know it, someone. Huh? But whose delight is in the Lord. Yeah? So all the so-called ministers that they have sitting with them, they need to talk up and warn this government authority what's going to happen if they would not turn around. All right?
Mm-hmm,
so
indeed.
That's a message to the government. Turn around, change your mind. You're too stiff. You're too harsh. You're taking too much advantage on the poor and vulnerable. Right? And number 10, need to wake up and smell the coffee. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. Stop being hypocrite and stop being like iguanas. Stop it. Thank you, brother.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed. I wonder, boy, you have something to play there? Yeah, I was just going to play that and I take the call. Yeah, let me play that.
So we intend, first of all, to capture the sargassum before it gets to shore. We intend to research, bring into Grenada nets that we can run along the coastline so that we can capture the sargassum before it gets to shore. We can then bring it ashore. We can then store it appropriately, conduct the necessary research on it, and use the findings from the research to create products that would be useful for us.
A few moments later.
Folks, it's happening again. Sargassum seaweed is taking over the Grenada beach.
Nah, man, I want to believe that is Grenada's beach. Mikey, you sure you know what you're saying there, Mikey? Mikey? I want to be sure Mikey knows he's saying
Moments later.
Folks, it's happening again. Sargassum seaweed is taking over the Grenada beach.
Only but where the net day? Where the net day? He had, let me see, he had 2 years. Yeah? 2 years and a month. Give or take a few days. To get them net and them. Where the net them day? Yeah? Where the net and them day? We still waiting to see where them net and them day. What's Grenada's beach? Let me show you again. What's Grenada's beach? Yeah? That's Grenada's beach today. Today, that is Grenada's beach. Watch it again. Let me pull that back there a little bit for you. Yeah, let me pull it back and see here. That is Grenada's beach today. Now we want to hear you did, but that is Grenada's beach today, right? That is what is taking place on our world premiere, Grenada's beach today. I know when on my way to Carriacou last week, I saw 1 or 2 bits of seaweed out there. Nothing to write home about, small little blots of it. Nothing along what you're seeing there now. To see that there now is indeed troubling, and especially as you're going into a high point of visitors to the island, because you have many people that within the next couple of weeks will be visiting our island, and outside of that, we as Grenadians want to be able to comfortably utilize our beach. And you say you're going and get some net, you had all the thing, you say you're going to take it and use it. Listen, one of the things in one of the science journals I was reading, they were saying it's actually not a good thing to utilize the seaweed as fertilizer. That the seaweed carries a lot of heavy metals, which later on, and they're speaking specific to this type of seaweed, carries a lot of heavy metals and other chemicals that can be injurious to human health. And as such, it was not a wise idea to be utilizing the seaweed as people were utilizing it for fertilizer, and so that you're actually putting heavy metals like mercury, etc., into the soil. That was from one of the scientific journals I was reading. I tend to read all kind of things. One of the scientific journals I was reading was saying that. Yeah? But no, we're not hearing anything. We're not seeing any net. You know, somebody said the net, what? The net on a tugboat from Dubai? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm still waiting to see it. 4-4, somebody say, what, what, Cindy, you have what? You have 2 fishnet stockings you could lend? All right. A little easy. Yes, indeed. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. So that's the situation with the seaweed at this point in time. I want to make another point. Before I run out of time tonight. I've said before that the government already has over $100 million. Now, I'm wondering if what's taking place with the money that they have in relation to hurricane relief is not similar to what has taken place with the 50th anniversary of independence. That you had a set of their friends and family members. Let me repeat it. Let me bring the mic a little closer so I want to make sure that it's captured. You had a lot of their friends and family members who went out there and created companies in the last year and so, specifically with the aim of getting a chunk out of that 22 or 14 or how much $1 million they got for the independence. Yeah? They created companies specific to that. So do not be surprised that hardware stores that did not exist before suddenly start existing. Do not be surprised that construction companies that did not exist anywhere but maybe on paper, didn't exist before, for the reconstruction of homes and government facilities in Carriacou, you might see construction companies suddenly appear out of nowhere. Don't be surprised if you see that happening. Because it seems as though there's some lethargy with this administration in relation to an idea of how they're going to use the resources that they rush to get the resources, you know. They didn't even say, well, okay, let's wait and see what if we're going to take half of it now and then we're going to apply for the other half after. They didn't even say that. They just max out. They use out all the credit on the credit card. They max out the credit card. Yes, it could be renewed, but they max out for right now. Right? So they go on and they get that. Do not be surprised. And just remember telling you all that tonight, July the 18th, 2024. Do not be surprised that you have companies being registered all now with people fronting it who are very close to government ministers to provide services to utilize that $100 million plus that is there. Do not be surprised that that is the situation. Because we saw it happen in the independence. They will not. And they're trying every trick in the book. They're trying to avoid providing a list of the vendors that have provided services to the 50th Anniversary Independence Committee. All excuse they're using. They wouldn't even say, well, the first 6 months of 2024 have gone. These are the people that we've worked with at that point in time. We can give you all that we worked with for 2022 from the formation and for the first half of 2024. And at the end of 2024, we'll give you the other half. No, they're avoiding giving you the names of the vendors and the amount of money that these vendors got. And remember, they changed the procurement rules so that now they could give somebody a contract for $80,000 and it doesn't have to go through the procurement process. It doesn't have to go to the procurement board. They can simply just award a contract to who they want to award it to. And they try to give you the impression, oh, the minister can't do that. The minister, yeah. So what are they telling all the people and them, all they giving them this contract and they getting it and them kind of thing for? So do not be surprised that that is happening. So you're going to see a situation that they are creating these companies. I am pretty sure some of them busy up in Kaipo all this week, next week. When we studying Carnival and things, some of them studying how they go in and make a 3 and 4 million, you know. So do not be surprised that these individuals are out there putting themselves in the position so that at the end of the rebuilding of Carriacou, these people will be multi-millionaires. Just remember, I told you so again, and mark the date, July the 18th, 2024, that I told you that is what these people most likely are doing. So when you think that the contractors in Carriacou, who exist in Carriacou, or who presently exist in Grenada, when you're thinking that these contractors and so may be the ones getting jobs to go and do some of these things in Carriacou, joke you're making. You will suddenly hear of new contractors that suddenly pop up out of the woodwork. Well, maybe not out of the woodwork, might be out of the concrete work. But they're going to pop up. And those will be the people who pocket gain fat. Some of them ain't know nothing about construction, because what they're going to do, they're going to have the people fronting, and they're going to go and get some fella that they say, well, okay, they could give him X amount of money, he understand a bit about construction, and put him in charge of it. You and I know that is what coming, isn't it? Then if it's 22 million, they went and they created a set of company, who all of a sudden that company providing service, they never work in that area before. But all of a sudden, they're providing services to the government of Grenada through the 50th anniversary committee. You ask them what they did before. None. What they did before. None. Nothing like that. Some of them were working in a totally different field. All of a sudden, they're in that. And while I'm mentioning that, I hope that the folks who are working on the police headquarters have been paid. Yeah. I hope that the folks who are not paid for 5 weeks and working on the police headquarters, I hope that they are paid. So I hear, so I buy, so I sell. I hear that the folks who are working on the police headquarters, that 5 weeks had been run around for money. So I hear. So I'm just reporting to the Grenadian people what I have heard. And I hope that they got their money. I think they were supposed to get yesterday. I hope all they get all their money, 5 weeks. Or let come to work and think, and I hope all they get all their money. Because that is what was happening. A whole 5 weeks, these people and them, no money. Yeah? And then you're rushing them. They didn't even do a proper assessment of the building before going and interfere with that building to say they're going and put the police headquarters there. The security aspect of it, me ain't no specialist, but I go tell you, me personally, with the limited training, I wasn't putting no building, that particular entity, I would not put it where it is there. But anyway, that is me. Maybe I don't know what I think I know, right? But you go there and you say you're putting it there and you give them a time frame, and the roof had to change, the rotten out, rafters, all kind of thing you have to go and change. You have, I think it had asbestos in part of it, you have to go and get that out, and all sorts of nonsense. Had to be done, paint, had to scrape here and paint over and all kind of thing, but the paint, some of the paint had lead in it, all kind of madness. Had to be done. And still 5 weeks I was hearing. So I hope that they've been paid now, eh? All right? Nice. 44073, I think I missed a call on one of the lines. 4407377, 347-329-3101. Yeah. Yes, Anthony To. 4407377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers to call and get on the inside. And we have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hey, good night, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. Concerning Grenada's beach there, the government only have to employ a couple fishermen from Gulf with some good nets, because what to see there, the seaweed is close to the shore. And cast it out and pull it in, and then it get a tractor and pull it up, because really and truly it's close to Carnival, and that is the best beach in Grenada, and everybody loves Grenada's beach. I mean, they got bars and everything down there to entertain the tourists that are coming in for the carnival and stuff. But it's only a suggestion to the Grenadian government, but they don't seem to be listening to anything any Grenadians is saying. So I guess with a little Bajan accent on me, I wonder if they might listen to me a little bit. Concerning all the star boys, wait, class over. Nobody ain't doing the exams anymore. I thought I went to do exams. I see them up in Carriacou posing with the rest in the background, hands up in the air, partying in Carriacou, while the people in there have no housing. Seriously. I got all those houses. I mean to say, if you got a triple-story building and the roof gone, well, forget the top stories, but the other stories that there, and if it's 100 units, and you think there got to be about 60-something units still that could be available, and if the people out below steps and what's not, you can tell me that this government can leave the people in Carriacou out in the cold below steps without roof, without tarpaulin, and then the other workers up there exploiting the people for $1,000 and $300 and different things to put on things. Come on, man, for your own people. Oh God, man, it's a whole, as you say, it was a disaster, and now the human aspect of things is another thing. You could be going up there starring and come on and this, oh gosh, man, it's pathetic. I don't think that the people that coming in there to assist is not looking on all the glitter and the glamour of the politicians jumping on board, going up there just to think. I saw the girl there from go over there the other day, she was up there. And people in crisis, and she on the thing doing an interview and smiling and laughing and going on like everything is thing. I mean, there's a suggestion I have. Clean up Grenada's beach with some nets and things for the people from Goa, because the Prime Minister ain't get the nets yet and I know when they're coming. But clean up Grenada's beach for the Carnival season. Well, it's there so. Because I think the storm is what contributed to that, because here in Barbados we don't really get much seaweed on the west coast. It's mostly on the east coast, on the south coast, but not on the west coast. When you see the south coast, maybe the hurricane helped to, bringing that there. All right, I'm gonna take up your time too long, because for me to call you and tell you I get a good time on, sure, I gotta tell you, man, I vex with you. When I hear I vex with you, I could get a long run, but if I tell you I vex with you, but I like to hear your way talk. I know that is your boy. I can't get involved in that, but I like to hear you and him talk, and I like him to tell him keep on. Keeping on, and I like to hear you all talk. Really and truly. Have a good night here, Mr. Scott.
All right, thank you.
All right,
yes,
buddy. Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed. 4407377. And there was a time previously when the seaweed was threatening Grandans Beach, and I know some of the boatmen down on that side, they did something similar. They got some nets and so on. They kind of went out and got it. Yeah, and someone has just messaged me there. They said, so 44 million US, that is what government got to, along with Grenlec and Nawasa, I think it's up to 50-something million. So it's over 100 million that they've gotten there. Then the Chinese gave 100,000 US dollars. That's the first set that they gave. Dominica gave 1 million. ECCB gave 1 million in grants. USAID gave 1 million. So they can't say they don't have money to do things, They can't say they don't have money to do things. They have the money to do it. So we're still trying to understand what's taking place. So in my view, these people putting their things together to see how they could milk the system. Because right now, when it comes to this cabinet that's in place there right now, you only ever hear about Mr. 10%? That cabinet is a Mr. 10% cabinet. You're hearing the stories of people getting contract, and when you get the contract, that certain ministers visiting them for a local financial handshake, that they have to give back or something. You're hearing that talk. And for a fact, we are asking this one, we know for a fact, the friends, the relatives, their senior supporters went and create companies to provide services during the 50th anniversary of independence celebrations. Which is why the list was asked for, and they gave in Shakespearean a weak supposal of worth of a list that they presented to the people through the parliament, and they presented to the opposition leader. That was woefully inadequate. It didn't give information in relation to the drones and all these kind of things. You want to know how much did we hear in talk, we estimating and so, but how much did they really pay? So some people looking to get handshake. Somebody saying so far 118 million EC. Well, I wouldn't doubt that figure. Yeah, I would not doubt that figure. So 118 million EC, and does that add in how much money they got from the Caymans? Because we're not sure how much money they got from the Cayman Islands. And as well, remember, government does have the donation portal that is attached online that you can go and you could use your credit debit card and you can donate. So we don't know how much they collect through that. Yeah. Yet still people, family all over to be doing GoFundMe to try and build back their home. One set of people have to be doing GoFundMe. Yeah. 440-737-734-7329-3101. Yeah. We really want to know what's going on. The carnival dead. The economy in trouble. I don't care what they say, you know. The facts are the facts are the facts. The economy is in trouble. It's in trouble. Carnival is a boost to the economy, you know. The people that come in, they have spending power. People come in, they spend. They buy drinks, they buy food, they rent vehicles, they buy gasoline. Some of them, even though they come with clothes, when they have to go special show, they say it's all black, all white. They go and they buy clothes too. Even though they come from a place where the clothes might be 10 times cheaper, they still buy when they reach in Grenada. Yeah, they take tours, they go around, they eat at the restaurants, they drink at the bars. These people spend money when they're here. And if you're not setting up the carnival in a way that people would be interested and want to come for the carnival or excited, a lot of Grenadians are outside there. And then on top of that, because we are now in the information age, no computer, don't do that to me, don't do that to me. No, you can't shut down there now. Yeah. Right. Yeah, the computer nearly shut down and stopped the program there, you know. Yeah. Now that you have Hurricane Beryl has passed, and in the minds of a lot of people in North America or so, the destruction they are seeing, they believe that is on the main island. I even saw a blogger that visited recently speaking about all the wonderful things he went to in Grenada, and he was mostly in the south of the island. And when he completed his blog, he erroneously said, all the things you're seeing there have been destroyed by Hurricane Beryl. And he went to the underwater park, and he went by the little restaurants and so in the south of the island, different places and so. But impression among a lot of people in the UK, in the US, in Canada and so on, is that the destruction that they're seeing, a lot of folks don't know the difference between Grenada and Carriacou, Petit Martinique. So they, in their mind, Hurricane Beryl hit Grenada. So they are thinking that the entire country is like that right now and they can't come. Or they shouldn't come. Yeah, all of that is contributing negatively to what should be taking place for August Festival. And the people used to come for Carriacou. Well, you could forget Carriacou Regatta. Yeah, that this, yeah, well, you have to forget that, yeah. Right now, Carriacou's focus is totally different, yeah. So, folks, we have a couple minutes remaining. 440-7377-347-329-3101. We have a couple minutes remaining. You can give us a call within those couple minutes. And we do have a couple minutes remaining on tonight's program. And we will not be having the Friday night forum. No, as I said, it's very different. The Friday night forum is not as easy as during the week to do. It's a kind of thing. Those who have seen me do it know that it is not an easy one. And you may wonder why, well, how come we could do the ones in the week? I have to make different arrangements on a Friday than during the week. Yeah, so it is always difficult to do the Friday night forum. Yeah, when we can, we will. But tomorrow is one of those nights that we will not be able to do so. Next week, we are endeavoring to have a guest on with us on Tuesday night to speak about the economy and so on. So we're going to speak on some of the things like the CRIF and all of these other things, because we keep focusing on the insurance policy, but a lot of other things. For instance, and I think we probably need to, and folks, we need to give some praise to former Senator Winston Garraway as well. Because had he not guided the process, because remember he was the person with specific responsibility for disaster management and so on. Had he not guided the process and put all the mechanisms in place, even with what he did, they still made a mess of it. But had he not put all of that in place, things would have been a lot worse than they are right now. And things not perfect right now, but it would have been a lot worse. When he was in charge, he made sure that certain things, that NADMA had certain things. Which is why I found it strange at a point in time when I saw a video right after the hurricane, and the team of storm chasers went to the NADMA headquarters in Carriacou and told the PS who was there that, hey, mainland trying to reach you and they can't get to you, so we're going to set up a hotspot here for you to reach to them, because as far as I know, there was supposed to be a satellite phone at that location, and the government, the Prime Minister, was supposed to be holding another satellite phone. So there should have been no issue for him to find the folks there. Now, it is a service which you can either pay on a monthly basis or you could pay on a yearly basis. I do not know if the government did do what they're supposed to do in relation to that particular service so that it was available to be used. Yeah? But they did have a satellite phone. Whether somebody take the satellite phone and went, and the PS and them was in NADMA and they can't speak to the mainland, I don't know. But the video is there where they set up the thing and they said, well, we're going to set up our Starlink outside because mainland want to speak to all you and they can't speak to all you. Yeah? So we must have these things sorted out. Remember, we're still in the hurricane season. And I would advise each and every one of you, everyone, even those who are listening in Carriacou, even if your roof didn't go, you need to get a team and check your roof still. Because the hurricane may not have taken it off, but it's weakened it. Those of you in St. Patrick and so on, who your roof didn't go, you still need to check that roof, because while it did not go, the winds may have weakened or damaged it. And those of us on the rest of the island who may not have felt the full brunt, still need to check your roof and double check your hurricane kit. Make sure that you have enough food stuff to last a week or two in case you're hit with a hurricane. Because it ain't easy out here. Remember, we're still in the hurricane season. And the high point of the hurricane season, it ain't reached yet. Right? We're coming down to August and September, October. We know what goes on around that point in time. So we can't just say, well, okay, we're safe now. We're not safe now. We have to continue to be vigilant at this point in time. Pay attention to the weather news, but we also have to make sure that we don't find ourselves in a line of people rushing in the supermarket to go and buy stuff, but that we have what we have to have home already. So there's no need to panic and we have to rush to buy this and rush to buy that. But you have your hurricane kit put away. That you have your storage of your documents and so safe. That you have your action plan. If you have pets, if you have elders, if you have children, what is your plan in case a hurricane is coming? Don't get caught like how some people got caught in Petit Martinique and in Carriacou. Have a hurricane plan. How are you going to secure your animals? How are you going to secure your vehicles? How are you going to secure yourself? Where's the shelter? Do you trust the shelter? We saw what happened to the shelter in Dover. Do you trust the shelter that is the shelter for you? Do you believe that you'd be safe if you go there? Yeah? So you have to plan all these things. If you have elder relatives, and especially if they're not living with you or they're living on their own, what is your plan for them? So we have to strategize, remembering that we are not at the end of the hurricane season, but we're not even in the middle of it. We're just at the beginning of the hurricane season. And already the strongest hurricane on record has passed through our islands. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight and this week. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm out of here. Love each and every one of you. And folks, remember, the donation link is there. We are accepting donations. We'd like to send some water and so on up to Carriacou, as well as the clothes and so that we're sending, and the Pampers and so that we're sending. So we want to send some other stuff up as well. So those of you that are willing to donate, please do so. We are out.
There we go. please open up some doors. Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anyway you pass. Transformation in we mass. You only looking out for the upper class.